got another thing I want to talk about in the ethical naturalism thing. I keep thinking about more stuff, and I keep thinking about stuff I haven't heard about for a while. But then this little ethical naturalism thing, I first kind of learned about it like maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I took my ethical theory class. And ever since then, I've just been reading like ethical theory like crazy. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, I want to talk about this little kind of category of naturalism, or could be non-naturalism, of Aristotelian naturalism. It's classified by Aristotelian naturalism by the Philip woman, who is a great ethicist of virtue as well as naturalism. Essentially, why is this Aristotelian? The reason to that, the answer to that would be the fact that we're talking about the function of human life or human nature. Now, if you read Philip Foot's book, Natural Goodness, she goes into that somewhat, as well as in other works too. In Natural Goodness, she goes into how a form of ethical naturalism, or natural goodness, based upon the function and defect of human life. Aristotelian naturalism would be, I guess, classified in a form of naturalism, in the sense that human nature could be a scientific endeavor, in terms of either sociology or anthropology or psychology. So there is some social sciences that could investigate things within what is philosophically called human nature. So we have this possibility of it being natural within this Aristotelian naturalism, within it kind of being about the life and human nature itself. Now, is that natural? Now, Dancy, when he writes about non-naturalism, he talks about, well, there's no really agreed account of what natural properties are, or what it means for ethical properties to be natural. There's some agreement, but it's very broad. So it can be natural. Human nature, as connected to ethical statements, is somewhat emotive. It's kind of like that emotive naturalism that we get from E.M. Adams when he writes Ethical Naturalism and the Modern Worldview. But so it could be natural. It could be, saying that moral judgments and ethical statements are natural, could be a naturalistic thing, by possibility of it having a place within scientific investigation, as being a kind of a social science kind of thing. So it could be natural in that sense. I think it's very interesting to think about moral judgments and ethical statements as coming from emotion, character, personal identity, as well as human nature itself. It's very interesting. And then on the other hand, it could be non-natural because of the possibility of the belief that personal identity, character, human nature, as and ethical statements coming from all those things, making it very, very difficult, possibly impossible, to investigate that. Let's see what Dancy says. Danzy says there's another meta-ethical doctrine which would call itself naturalism. This is Aristotelian naturalism, so called because it holds that moral distinctions are tightly grounded in considerations of human nature, but takes no official stand on the debate. So Danzy says that they could be non-naturalist or naturalist. If moral judgments and ethical statements are tightly grounded in human nature, there's no way of really saying that is one is being natural or not. But I would think that could be natural, because there wouldn't be social sciences if things about human nature could not be studied, as a scientific fact. So I think in a way that moral judgments and ethical statements being grounded in human nature is very, very, in my opinion, a very natural thing, can be studied naturally and scientifically investigated. That's what I think. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. It's kind of a interesting thing to think about moral statements and ethical statements and moral judgments to be grounded in human nature.